This November, more than 13,000 kidney professionals will meet in Atlanta, Georgia for ASN Kidney Week 2013. Kidney Week provides participants exciting and challenging opportunities to exchange knowledge, learn the latest scientific and medical advances, and listen to engaging and provocative discussions with leading experts in the field. This year's meeting includes more than 60 basic and clinical science symposia that relate research to clinical practice, nearly 40 clinical nephrology conferences that review new knowledge and help you integrate that knowledge into clinical practice, special sessions related to public policy, health disparities, and other pressing topics, and more than 3,800 abstract presentations. In this episode of the ASN Kidney News podcast, ASN President Bruce Molitoris, MD, speaks with Kidney Week 2013 Program Chair Anupam Agarwal, MD, and Kidney Week Education Director and Postgraduate Education Committee Chair Mark Rosenberg, MD. They discussed this year's theme, Changing the Focus, Innovation and Individualization, the 1- and 2-day early programs, the expanded Innovator's Place, new basic science sessions, and more.
This is Bruce Molitoris, President of the American Society of Nephrology, and I have on the line with me Mark Rosenberg from the University of Minnesota, the PGE Director, and Anupam Agarwal from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, who is the Kidney Week Program Chairman this year. And we would just like to discuss some of the upcoming events at Kidney Week. Kidney Week has turned into a really outstanding but very large meeting that's sometimes overwhelming to an investigator or a clinical person coming in and trying to decide what to go to, what to see, how to best get the most out of Kidney Week. Do you have any insight into how one can prepare for Kidney Week so that they do maximize their time and information that they gain out of this large meeting?
Bruce, that's a great point, and I would advise everyone to do a little bit of homework before coming to Atlanta. There are great tools on the ASN website for looking at the program and building your own program so that you can go through and select things that you want to attend and put them into your own personalized program. In addition, as in previous years, there will be a great ASN Kidney Week app, which will allow you to review aspects of the meeting, put them into your calendar, and remind you of what you want to go to when, as well as an opportunity to network once you're there. So do your homework before coming, otherwise it's going to be a bit overwhelming.
So the title of this year's Kidney Week is Changing the Focus, Innovation and Individualization. And we decided on this title based on our belief that we need to look at patients as an individual patient and that the kidney sphere needs a lot of innovation, both in diagnostics and in therapeutics, to really push us forward and provide the best possible care for our patients. Anupam, as program chair, would you like to comment about how we went about doing this?
Surely, Bruce, thank you very much. Right from the beginning of our program committee deliberations, along with the Postgraduate Education Committee, we felt this was an important area to focus on to highlight areas that would be innovative and also towards personalized medicine. So, for example, the 4 plenary speakers who would be giving the state-of-the-art lectures were selected to highlight this particular theme. For example, some of these include advances in regenerative medicine, systems biology, pharmacogenomics, and pharmacogenetics, as well as the microbiome. So all these would really highlight the focus of this year's meeting on innovation and individualization. Another special session that we have on Friday, which is really exciting and will feature the intersection of kidney care and Obamacare and how this would fit into the new care delivery model. Another special session highlighting individualization would be a lunch session where we would look at clinomics. How can we use next-generation sequencing to dictate diagnosis or prognosis for a particular kidney disease? So I think these areas that were taken into consideration as the program was being developed highlight the theme for Kidney Week 2013.
A number of the other educational programs are focused on innovations and individualization. The clinical nephrology conferences, which happen twice a day, are more of the review sessions where new knowledge is integrated into existing knowledge, and there are examples of innovation in those. For example, there's a conference on novel devices and interventions in nephrology that's looking at cellular therapy of kidney disease, the role of renal nerve ablation, as well as advances in nanotechnology. So spread throughout the program are examples of innovations and individualization.
Mark, 17 early programs this year. What do these sessions offer participants, and why are they so important to the Kidney Week experience?
So the early programs are those programs that happen on the Tuesday and Wednesday of Kidney Week. Some of them are 2-day courses, some of them are 1-day courses, and as you mentioned, there are 17 of them this year, giving attendees quite a broad offering of courses to focus on. The early programs really provide an opportunity to learn in depth about a specific area of nephrology. Some of the courses are focused on transplantation, on critical care medicine, on geriatric nephrology, and some on more of the business and practice aspects of nephrology. And the last thing I'll mention is that we've really gone to great lengths to try and make these active learning sessions. So not just listening to lecture after lecture, but a chance for the audience to respond, debates, panel discussions, so bringing learning and bringing the audience into the whole learning process.
I think you have done really over the years a tremendous job at making these interactive and bringing the audience, as you say, into it. It seems like there's a core of these that repeat pretty much every year, and then there's new exciting ones that are added. And I believe you set the record by the most number of courses, early programs being offered this year.
This is the highest number, and let me tell you about 2 of the new ones. One is on the business of nephrology. So this is directed at new nephrologists in practice as well as established nephrologists, trying to get at some of those business aspects of nephrology. The program is in collaboration with the Renal Physicians Association. In addition, there is a new course on nephroprevention. The goal of this 1-day program is to try and review some of the newest aspects of things that we can do as nephrologists to prevent either the progression of kidney disease or some of the complications such as cardiovascular disease.
Anupam, do you want to comment on the 2 that have particular basic science interest?
2 of the early programs are of particular interest. One of them is an Advance in Renal Research Conference, From Molecules to Man to Main Street, the impact of innovations in translational science. And this early program really highlights basic insights that would occur in the laboratory to how that could be taken to first-in-man studies and then potentially to large clinical trials and then become therapy for patients with kidney disease. It's designed not only for basic scientists, but also for clinical scientists, practitioners, trainees, and members of both pharmaceutical and biotechnology industries. So this, I think, would be a fascinating advances in research conference. The second one is a conference that we developed for the first time in partnership with the Beckman Institute. So we had folks from the Beckman Institute as well as from ASN develop this program, and this would target novel biomarkers for kidney disease. It covers a wide spectrum of kidney disease, including acute kidney injury, chronic kidney disease, glomerular disease, hypertensive kidney disease, polycystic kidney disease, transplantation, and so on. So these 2 are new areas, again, being offered as early programs for this year's Kidney Week.
Thank you, Anupam and Mark. There's also a new area that is expanding from last year, and that's Innovator's Place. And I'm particularly excited about this because this is an area of the exhibit floor that is somewhat set off from the rest of the area because these are non-FDA approved products that are in the development cycle. Last year we had 10 different device groups participate and exhibit, and this year we've expanded that to include therapeutic companies or potential generation, third generation type ideas that are moving forward have been funded by many types of different venture capitalists, etc., and they offer an insight into what's coming down the pipeline for nephrology. This, in particular, in conjunction with the Kidney Health Initiative, is, I believe, going to be a very rapidly expanding area that is going to offer participants at Kidney Week an early eye into what they can be doing for their patients in the future.
Bruce, I spent a lot of time at Innovators Place last year and just loved it. It was great to be able to walk through and talk with really some very innovative people and see their prototypes or their ideas for further development. And they were truly interested in hearing what nephrologists thought of the ideas as they look to make their devices better.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we have to keep in mind is that we offer them something by walking in there, and they are very interested in what we think and what we have to say and how we believe this could benefit patient care, or in areas that we could suggest they look that might be new and different and would benefit patient care. So I found it to be, like you did, Mark, a very dynamic area. I'm going to take us to a little bit different area, and that is this year it looks like Kidney Week has more basic science than ever before, or certainly at the top end of the basic science spectrum. Anupam, would you like to comment on any particular programs or areas that you're excited about?
So we've added 6 additional basic clinical symposia this year, and we were able to accommodate this by adding them to morning session slots. We also added a lunch symposium, which I'm really excited about. It's on clinomics, diagnostics, prognostics of tomorrow, available now. This will highlight again next-gen sequencing and how it applies to kidney disease. Other new sessions that have been included are a session on how biomarkers can improve outcomes in various forms of kidney disease, emerging technologies in dialysis, various sessions on emerging new pathways that can be targeted for intervention and transplantation, and also a session on new applications of ultrasound in nephrology. So these are some of the sessions that have basic science content that I think are really exciting.
Thanks, Anupam. I'm going to wrap it up and ask you to end with your thoughts of 2 or 3 reasons that you think kidney professionals should attend Kidney Week. And I'd like to start it off, and I think my overwhelming reason is that Kidney Week offers a unique place where the basic scientists, the clinical researchers, the clinicians, and industry can all get together. And I think translation really can occur at Kidney Week. This translational science begins and ends there because of the different spectrum of investigators and clinicians that are there and can work and talk together, as opposed to, say, a basic science-oriented meeting where there is lack of clinical translation being talked about and the clinicians that are absolutely necessary to help move things to the patient's level.
Bruce, one example of something which I think Kidney Week offers is you can hear about cutting-edge developments. You can also hear reviews of topics, but it's this integration of new knowledge into existing knowledge that Kidney Week is very good at providing.
Anupam, your thoughts about reasons to attend Kidney Week?
Yeah, my top 3 reasons overlap with what you and Mark just highlighted, but mainly I think first, it's a great place to network and exchange knowledge with experts from all over the world. Secondly, you can share your own research work with peers and get critical feedback on that. And thirdly, it's a great place to build collaborative partnerships, not only for nephrologists and faculty, but also for trainees, residents, and medical students and fellows.
Building on that, Anupam, is not only is this a United States perspective, but about 40% of attendees are from outside the United States. So you really hear about nephrology from an international perspective, which I always find very exciting.
There's an ever-growing population of medical students and residents that are coming to the meeting now, in large part supported by the ASN. And if you're there and talking to these individuals, I think it's very important for the future of nephrology that we maintain their interest and highlight their interest by the exciting things going on at Kidney Week.
A new thing that ASN did last year was also provide continuing education credits for nurses and pharmacists. If you work with a nurse practitioner or closely with a pharmacist, they would get a lot out of Kidney Week, and in addition, they can get continuing education credits for being there.
Yeah, I think that really highlighted the approach to medicine and nephrology as a team approach involving multi-dimensions of healthcare professionals really trying to deal with complex disease and move it forward in both a preventative and curative fashion. I would like to thank the both of you for spending the time giving us your insight into Kidney Week. I know you both put in many, many hours in perfecting what I think is a truly outstanding program, and that anyone that comes to Kidney Week will find more than what they can take in of exciting new information and in reviews that they need to keep up with so that they can provide the best possible care for their patients. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Bruce.
Thanks.
This podcast is copyrighted by the American Society of Nephrology, all rights reserved. All content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be medical advice. This podcast should not be used in a medical emergency or for the diagnosis or treatment of any medical condition. Please consult your doctor or other qualified healthcare provider if you have any questions about any medical condition or before taking any drug, changing your diet, or commencing or discontinuing any course of treatment. Thank you for listening to this podcast of the American Society of Nephrology.